Okay, now for the instructions. Okay, so to build this, I probably already told you this. I'm filming the instructions before I do the review, but this is everything you need. So it may look like a lot on camera. I'll show you it better in detail, but the basics for the motors and stuff, you need one L motor, one power function servo motor, the power functions IR receiver, and then also the remote. It doesn't have to have all this stuff on it, just makes it feel better. That's just from me. And then the battery box, and then 4 wheels, normal for a car. Okay, so the first thing you are going to do, I'm not going to tell you the amount for everything because you'll see it in the video of me building it, but I'd say it doesn't take a lot of pieces. I mean, these are pieces that everyone should have. They're not like any weird pieces. And yeah, so we'll get into it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take this frame and you're going to put 4 of these 3 long pins into it and then push it all the way through like that. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to use these. So I'll show you how to build this quick. So it takes 2 of these pieces. One end it has an axle through it, and then the other end in the opposite direction it has a pinhole. Just so that. And then this right here, this is a 2-axle don't recommend doing that. That is probably bad for your teeth, but okay. So it's these half wide 2-axle right next to each other, so it's too long, but it has axle holes. So you can see that. And it's just 2 of them stacked on top of each other with 3 long axles going through them with 1 space on each side. So then you get this right here. It's not hard to see. And then you just place these on one side of it. It does not matter, but they both need to be on that side. So you're going to need 4 of these, like that. So it's going to be 1 on each side. So I'm going to consider this step 1. Oh, and we are building the back axle, if that helps. So this is step 1. This is what the end of it should look like. And there are some changes you can make to this, which I will point out. And it's also pretty easy to modify it and build off of it to make it look like a car. This is just the basis, the base chassis. So we have this. Now you're going to take these. So it has 2 axle holes on each side, and then in the opposite direction it has a pinhole in the middle. So you can see there. And you're going to put, well, actually first, before we do that, we're going to put the differential in. So you take the differential and you put the 3, not exactly sure what to call them, they're little gears that you put inside of it, and it makes a working differential. You're going to place that in the middle. Now, what you're going to do is you take 2 of these 3 long axle connectors. You're going to, well, I'm using a 5.5. You don't need to use a 5.5. The reason I use a 5.5 is because you can't pull the axle out. Normally, you'd be able, if you don't use a 5.5, you can pull the axle out like that, but since it has this stop right here, it keeps it from coming out. So that's why I use it. You don't need to. But if my voice is kind of scruffy today, it's allergies, but so then you just put the 3 long in the other side of it, So you get two pieces like this, so one for each side. So, no, oops. Now, it does not matter what side or what way you put the differential in, because you can just switch it on the remote, which is really nice. So, now, we have this in. Now, it's not very sturdy, so you're going to put this like so. So you're going to put this piece, and you're going to put 4 of them on each side, right where the pins stick out. Well, actually, you're going to put 2 on each side right now, and then you're going to take these, and you're going to take another 3 long and put it through the center. Or actually, the way I have it so far, you just, actually, you know what? You can put 4 on each side. It really just depends on how you want to do it, but end product should be the same. But you put all these together, like so. Then you can just slide this on, get that in there, and like that. Now, the reason I have this kind of weird looking piece is because these 2 holes are the right width apart that the battery box can fit like right there, or however it goes. So that's really helpful, because one of the biggest problems for me is I'll finish a build and I won't know where to put the battery box. It's kind of just slapped on. Here, it takes into account where you want to put it. So that's a pro to this. So you just put this on, and this on, and there you go. You cannot pull this axle out. Can't pull this axle out. Good. Now, you're going to take, so you have this 4 with a stop. You can use a 4 if you want. I like the stop. But then you're going to take, this 3 long connector piece with a pinhole in the middle, and you're going to put it right here. And the way I'm going to connect it is with these. So this is it has a 2 long axle on one side and a pin on the other side, and you can just put it like this. So as of now, with 2 pins, or 1 pin on each side, this kind of spins freely. So that's okay. Don't worry about that. So now, what we are going to do is we're going to take the 4 with stop right here, and so this is the gear ratio right here. So what I'm going to be using is 3 to 1. This 24 tooth gear to this 8 tooth gear. Now, you can change this. You can use these 2 gears, make it look like this. That's a 1 to 1 2/3. So that's still geared up to being fast, but it has a little bit of, I can't talk. It has a little bit more torque, which is helpful. But the way I have it with these 2 gears, it can still go over carpet fine, and that's really all I care about, because our house has hardwood floors and rugs, so it's nice that it can go up onto the rug and drive around on the rug. So that's just fine. So I'm keeping it with the 3 to 1 ratio. So you're going to stick the 4 with stop in the back like this. You're going to stick the 8 tooth gear right here and put that through there like so, and then put the double bevel 20 tooth gear in here like this, like so. So you have this so far, and when you turn this, it should turn both axles. And if you put any pressure on it, obviously it will only turn one. That's how the differential works. Completely fine, that's normal, that's how it's supposed to work. So, now, you see the frame like this. You take a pin, you're going to place it right there. You're going to take another pin and you're going to place it right there. And that means we are done with this frame piece for now. Now, the next thing we're going to work on is this motor, as you see here. So the way I'm connecting it is I'll use one of these L pieces, but first you're going to take 4 T pieces, and this is how it's going to look. So I'm going to make sure the cord goes up like this, so it's right ways up. It's fine if it's upside down. You just have to twist the cord a bit more. Doesn't really matter, but I'm going to keep it like this. So, oh, one more thing we have to do for this piece. You are going to take one of these, and then you can take one of these. So you can either use this, or you can use one of these with 2 of these 1-axle, 1-pin pieces, and just go like that. I'm not using that because it uses more pieces and it's a little bit more complex, and I'm trying to go as simple as possible, but it doesn't matter. It just depends on what pieces you have. And then you just place 2 pins in the bottom like that. So this is a 5 with a pin here, and then this piece right here. So you can see that. So that will go on like this. And if you want to know, the motor will end up going like that. But you see how there's this 1 stud difference. That's what we use the T pieces for. Oh, already got one. Okay, so the first T piece right here. Bottom. Let's see how I did this. Now. So. Yep. So, bottom piece is going to have a 3 through it. So it's sticking, 1 is sticking out on both sides. Then you are going to take a 1 pin, put it in the top of it, like so, and 1 pin like that. And then place 1 pin here, and 1 like this. Actually, sorry about this. It should look like this. Now, I know it's a lot. If you want, right now, all you have to do is place it like that. So then you're going to want 1 on this side, like so, and then the opposite of it on the other side, which is just it flipped over. So 1 like that. So, once again, 1 through here, 1 sticking out like that, and 1 like this. So, ba-bam. Like so. Now, this, for the back pieces, we're going to put 2 pins in, like this. So it'll go like that, and you can snap it on. And then another one on the other side. So, there. Like that. Now, this may be changed. Nope, it's not. Sorry, this is like my first time trying this. First time with instructions, I'd say it's going pretty well. But, we do put, guess my mom and my brother are coming home. So then you're going to place 1 pin here, 1 pin here, and 1 pin here. And then actually place 1 more pin in between this pin and this pin. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's so loud. Okay, and then we repeat on the other side. So, 1 pin here, a 3 long pin there, and some pin in the middle. One moment. Be quiet.
Way back.
I'm filming. My family sometimes. Okay, so we have this motor, lots of pins on it. So now we are going to connect it to this. So we're going to take this L piece. It is 5 long this way, 3 up. It's a pretty useful piece. And you can place it like this. It will be kind of in the middle of this part, which is completely fine. And then it should snap in. Dang it. Don't worry, it didn't break. Really, it should just, gotta hold it. So, you should be able to go, kind of wiggle it around, but there you go. So it's starting to come together. So then you just do the same on this side, putting this pin in, and connecting it together. Like so. So motor's on. It's not super stable, but it's definitely on, not going to fall off. It will get stronger later. So now you're going to take this, just a moment. Making noise. Okay, back to that. I'm filming in the living room, so, yeah. So you're going to take a 4 stop. Actually, you're going to take a 3 with stop, or a 3 if you don't have one with a stop. You're going to place the gear in like this and put the 3 with stop right through it and into the motor. So if you would like, don't need to, just show the proof of concept right on camera. Now if you hit this motor, you can see the axles is moving. That might be kind of hard to see, but the differential is moving quite fast too. So there is that. So one more thing we're going to do, we're going to take 2 of these L pieces, or not the L pieces, the T pieces. These 2 T pieces. You're going to place, so you're going to place 2 pins, like so, and place one on the other side at the top. So it will end up looking like that, and you're going to place it so that the middle piece is aligned with this hole right here. It's not important, but, you know, there's that. Put these 2, and then put that on, and there you go. So, if you take this, so this is 9, this is 11, I guess these would be 13 long, but this is not actually going to go on right now, but this would go like that, or like that. So that would go on like that in the end. But we're not there yet. So we're going to be done with this for now. Set this off to the side. We're going to start with the steering mechanism. So you have your servo motor. You're going to take this piece, the two long axle connector, place a 2 long axle in it so it's sticking up like this, and you're going to place it in the motor like that. So that's sorted. Now take this on, the last frame. So you take the frame, put the motor in like that, so it should be sticking off by 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now, take your 3 long pins, put it in the holes, and it should go through into the servo so that it connects it. Now we have the servo connected. Whippy. Okay, so we have this on there now. Now, we're going to take a 2 long connector, a axle connector, and a 3 long axle, place it in here, And so there's this bar that goes across the frame. And you have this piece, the too long right there. You're going to place it in there like that. So, now you're going to take one of these. It's the 3-long connector with the pinhole in the center. You're going to place it like that, and we're going to do the same thing we did on here with these pieces going through the frame into this, and it's going to work as a holder piece, kind of. So, we have this now. Good. So, now, we're going to take, so these are 9 long, this is an 11. You need 2 of them, but we're going to start with the first one. So, you take these 3 long pins, you put it through here, like so, and then put the bottom one on, and you should have 3 studs sticking out of the frame. So, there's that. Now, we're going to take one of these pieces. It's a good connector, like so. And so that's going to go like that. But first, we're going to take, so this is a 4 long with stop. I recommend using the stop. It just works best. And then place a, these are like half axle bushings, and put it like that. The reason you're putting it on now is because it actually is way easier to put it on, because if you put it on before or after you build all this up, it's just a lot harder. No biggie. So put this, so you have 2 of these. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put the axle on, because as I said before, it's just easier. So, or the wheel on, sorry. But the wheels are on. Now, I recommend taking, this is a half bushing, you can use a half bushing or a full bushing. Doesn't really matter, and I would just put it, keeping the wheel on. It's just something making sure the wheel doesn't come off the axle. So, get this on. There you go. So, wheel spins freely. Now, as of now, you're going to have to lift it up. So, you have that. And you want, oh, I did this wrong, sorry. You want the wheel and the axle. You want the axle to be on the edge with this bar connected to the frame. You'll see why in a moment. Actually, one thing we do before that. So this is one thing I've added, is you take, so you can either use a 2 long, both with pinholes, or they're like, or 1 pinhole, 1 axle piece. Basically just working as a 2 long piece that will go in here, and it will stop it from turning too far. So, you're going to want it like that. You can see this. Probably not. There. Okay, so you see how this is? And this will be on the bottom. So this will go right here. And you take this, do the same with the piece. Bam. Put that on, and there's that. Now, you can take this 11 long piece, and you can put it right over there. So, we have that done. Now, we're going to build the actual thing that turns, that makes the wheels go turny-turny. So, you have this piece, has like gear teeth almost, but as you see here, it's not long enough, so we're just going to extend it. Pretty simple. So, you're going to take these 2 long, there's two long axles and these axle pieces, part axle with pinholes. Yeah, I'm not gonna say the name every time because it's kind of long. So you're gonna put you're gonna need two of these. Missing a piece. But here it is. Here it is. And then do the same for another piece. Make sure they're in all the way. So you add it like this. Now this is actually going to be upside down. I found it works better this way. So it's going to go like that. First, I think this is the point where we need to add the gear that will actually turn it. So I'm using a 6 long. You can use a 5 with stop. But just take in mind that it's a little bit harder to get out. That's kind of something to take in mind if you're ever going to take it apart and build a new thing, which I do quite often. So I'm going to take this 6 long. You feed it through this hole. Now, you can use a full bushing. I'm using this like pin spacer that you can use like this. It's not used this way. I'm just using it as a spacer for the axle. So I'm going to place this. I dropped it. I got it. Okay. You're going to place it on the axle like that. And then place the gear like that. And you can push that all the way in. So you see like this. So when the servo moves, this gear will move. Now, take this. You should go like that and that. So it looks like this. So the gear side and then... So, just keep in mind when you put it on, you want these pieces to be facing out, away from the motor, or it might not turn as well. Just keep that in mind. And then take these pieces, axle in one side, pinhole in the other, opposite direction, and place them like so. So we'll go on like that. But one thing I do is I take these either too long with pins, I just don't have that piece, or this pinhole and axle hole. And you put these on together like so, and then take these pins, and they basically just act as a connector. So I'm just going to place it like that. So this should be, so the gear teeth should be facing down, and these should be on the top side. So it ends up with the gear teeth facing down, and these pieces facing away from the servo motor, as you see here. So it'll go like that. And all I gotta do now is connect it. So, when you do this, you want to make sure that, so when you push it down, you want it to be straight. So you can actually do it. I think I just dropped a piece. Oops. But you want, like, what happens sometimes if you hit the wheel really hard, it will move this piece up and it'll go like this. So this is now the center when it's like this. So it'll always go back to this, and your car will always be turning unless you turn the opposite direction. So you want to make sure the gear teeth are aligned so it's in the middle, so your gear wheels are straight. Pretty simple. Next up, we're going to put these on. So, 3 long, hole in the middle, axle connector, and you're going to put the half axle, half pin, like so, and you're going to place it, actually, you can put a pin inside the hole, and make 2 of those. And there we go. So, now, you're going to place that like that, and you want the pin facing away, and that like that. Go away, Fuel. I know. That's our cat. Okay, so, back to what I was saying. So, you're going to actually take 2 of these now. These are the L pieces. And, okay, so move the cord, but You see how you have these two holes here? You are going to place I think that's my brother whining. Ooh, if you can hear that. But and place it like that. So you want it facing back, and then you want to place a pin at the end of it. If you can get it in, it's a little bit difficult. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it around to get it to go in. Bam. So there you have that piece, and then you do the same on the other side. But bam. Okay. So we have this now. Almost done. It's quite exciting. So now, to finish this off, we're gonna take. So we're gonna take this piece. It's 5 long. Put 2 pins, one on each edge, and place it right here. So what I'm doing here, you can either use 1 5 or 2 5s. In this case, I'm going to use a 1 5. But you basically, all this is doing is keeping it so that this gear wheel doesn't, or this gear, whatever you call it, doesn't lift up and move. So when it gets hit, if the wheel gets hit, then it doesn't just like get out of place like that. Pretty easy to fix. You just got another problem. So if your car doesn't turn like it's supposed to, you might have to realign the that piece, but no biggie. And it doesn't usually do that. That's kind of a rare occurrence, but so we have this now, and we have this now. Now we're going to connect it. So you see what I've done here. So we're gonna first place. So this is a 13 long. So you gotta, since this piece pivots. Oh, actually, one thing we should do before. So you see all these pins on this side. The thing we're going to do is we're going to take this. This is a 9 long, and put it in here. So this will not affect the steering, just so you know. But that all snaps together. That's nice. Okay. So now make sure this is up when you connect it. But you take the 13 long. Yeah. Bam. So that's connected like that, and that will go right here. And you see these pieces that stick out, and that will connect. Sorry, missed the thing. So actually, this is going to stick out by 1. The way it is set up, so this is just going to stick out by 1. It's not really a big deal, but if I can get it to go in. This really does not need to be this difficult. Okay. And okay, got it. So all it is it sticks out by 1 right past this piece right here. So then you're going to take this and you're going to connect it like so. If I can get this to go in, and voila, you have it. It's connected now. Make sure this cord is facing upward. Just a thing to add. So then you can just connect the other side. Kind of wrestle with it a bit to get it to snap together fully. Squeeze it, make sure it's together, and there you go. We're almost done. So now you're going to take 2 13s, quite simple, and connect this like so. So this will just connect the back to the main frame to make sure it doesn't bend or anything. And you can actually take, you can connect these quite simply with a, it has like axle connector on one side and like 2 long pin on the other. I don't have one at this table right here, but yeah, just you can connect it and that just takes away this wobbliness, but that shouldn't really affect anything. This is just to make sure the back doesn't bend. So, done with that. Now, we are going to mount the battery box. So, what I'm using to mount the battery box, really all you need is a 2 long spacer with pins on the other end. I'm using these axle connectors and then the half axle, half pin, but you can use the piece that connects the 2 pins together. It works completely fine. That's not a problem either. Quite easily. But if I just put these together, okay, and then place them like this. And the battery box goes right there. But before we mount that, we're going to mount the wheels, the back wheels. So, you're going to put a half bushing on this edge, like that. I better hurry up, my dad's here. So, put that bushing on there like that. Put the wheels here. There's that. And then take something to keep the wheel on. And I'm using a half bushing for that. Now, I did drop a piece, but here it is. So, now you can put the battery box on there. Put these down like this and put... That sometimes happens, and that is very annoying. If I've got an idea. I don't know why that does that. If you put too much pressure on it, it will break it. But if you've got any fixes for that, actually, you could, instead of using 13s right here, you could use a 15, and that would connect it to the frame. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, but simple thing you could fix if you would like. But put this back on. It's quite easy to fix. You just gotta snap some things back in place, like so. Now, the last thing you need to do is mount the receiver. So it can either go like that or like that. I actually need to move the cords because the cords are going to be back here. I really got to fix that. So all you got to do to fix that is use a 15. So this would come out too longer and it would come out over that. But if you don't have a 15, this works too. You just got to be kind of careful when you're putting a lot of weight on it. So make sure everything is snapped together. Like there. So, put this back. This time I'm going to hold it. There you go. So, simple fix. That is really not a big deal. And then this is how I'm connecting the receiver, by just putting these pins in here. If you want to connect it somewhere else, it's pretty simple, but you just snap that on like that, and you have your car. Obviously you gotta connect the cords, but once that's connected, you have a fast car with great steering. So, well, obviously you gotta connect it. So, feed this through. Might have to pop this up. Quite easy to put back on, though. Bam and bam. Just make sure the cord isn't coming in contact with any of the gears, because it'll make a kind of not really a bad sound, but you'll hear it. It's just, so there you go. 2 extra pins, but quite fast. A little bit back heavy, so if you back up and then hurry up, and so if you do that, it'll kind of jump a bit. Nothing bad about it, but there you have it. You have a fast RC car with tight steering. It's great for playing in the house or really just doing anything. It'll go on carpet just fine, but there you go. Super fast, super simple RC car. Lego Technic. That's all I've got for today, and have a great day.